back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I'm here today to do my March TBR. I haven't done a TBR or a wrap up for months and months and months, but I really used to enjoy doing them, and I found that I stuck to my reading goals a bit better when I did TBRs. So I'm going to try and do a TBR and see how it goes, and if it goes well, I might bring them back and start doing TBRs and wrap-ups again, because I miss them, and I hope you guys do as well. So let's dive straight in. This month I have 2 book club books, so I'll be reading them, and then there's a couple of BookTube SFF things that I'd like to read as well, and then I do have 1 or 2 books that I just think I might want to get to. So let's dive straight in, and I'll tell you what I'm currently reading. The first thing that I'm currently reading is Recursion, which is by Blake Crouch. This is one of the BookTube SFF books, and it's in the science fiction category, so I am reading it because I'm a judge in that category. I was not sure I was going to like this. It is a story all about a kind of investigator who is sucked into a story about where people have lost their memories or they're experiencing fake memories. He doesn't quite know what is going on, and he's kind of a classic gritty cop in a sense. So I wasn't sure the story was going to be for me, but I think I only got maybe less than a third or a quarter in, and I started really enjoying it because it takes some really interesting concepts about memories and it kind of twists them into this very, very exciting narrative, which I think has a lot of potential. I'm about halfway through and I'm really, really liking it, and it surprised me. So I'm very happy to say I'm liking this one, and I'll definitely finish this one up in the next few days, if not sooner. So that's number 1. The next one that I'm also reading right now is my book club book for my science fiction and fantasy club, and that this month is An Accident of Stars by Foz Meadows. Again, I'm about halfway through this one as well, and this is kind of a sci-fi, but probably it's more of a portal fantasy. We follow a young girl who is called Saffron, and she accidentally follows a world walker through a portal into an entirely different world, and the world that she ends up in is very different to Earth. It is politically fractured. There are all sorts of different things going on with factions and people that she doesn't know. It is a culture shock and a culture shock and a culture shock because it keeps on shocking her. And it's vastly different from anything she's ever known. So she is very reliant on the person she followed in there, called Gwen, to kind of show her what's going on, and the other people that she meets once she's there. The story, as I say, it starts as a kind of sci-fi, but it really feels more like fantasy, and it has quite a lot of political and moral dilemmas and discussions and that sort of thing in there. So I'm really enjoying it. I've never read any Foz Meadows till now, but I'm really liking her style. And I think this is the first one in a series, so if it is, I'll probably carry on with the rest. But yeah, so far really enjoying it. Now to move on to some of the BookTube SFF ones that I'm not reading yet, but I'd like to potentially read this month. The first one is a super short one. It is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. And the second one is also super short, and that is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone. They're not actually a category that I am judging in because I'm not judging the short category, but because I own them both, I see no reason not to read them. So this one I know is all about time and time travel, I guess, and then Becky Chambers I'm thinking will be quite a lot of fun because it's to do with terraforming planets and exploring, and they're both super short, so there's no reason for me not to have read them yet at all, and I really should just stop making excuses and sit down and read them because I'm pretty sure I'm going to like them both. The next of the BookTube SFF ones I want to read is The Starless Sea, which is actually a nominee in the fantasy category, so I definitely need to read this one. I'd like to at least have it started before the end of the month. It is a bit chunky, but nowhere near as chunky as The Priory of the Orange Tree. At least I got that one out the way first. But yeah, I'd like to read this one next. I've read Erin Morgenstern's other works and really enjoyed them, so I'm hopeful I'll like this one too. And then a couple of books that I would just be interested to potentially pick up in March is this one, which is on my shelves. It's called The Woman's War by Jenna Glass. I picked this one up relatively recently, and I think it's quite a feminist one. It sounds like it's going to be kind of different to a lot of fantasies I read. It's all about women being able to control their fertility, and therefore they kind of can take over the world in this scenario. So it's a matriarchal society and it's very different to a lot of what I read. I'm excited to give it a go and try it out. And another one I'd like to read really soon because I love this author is Jodie Taylor's Doing Time. This, I believe, is a spin-off series of her Chronicles of St. Mary's, and I really love the Chronicles of St. Mary's. I believe this follows one of the characters that we meet in that series a few years later, presumably. Really like the idea of it. It looks super cool. The cover is very Art Deco, and I'd like to just dive straight into this. So I think this will be one that I'll find really easy to binge read when I get into it. So I just need to start it. But yeah, really excited to kind of give this one a try as well. So those are my potential reads. Obviously, I might just go rogue and pick up something off these shelves which I haven't read yet. And if there's anything on there that you guys want me to read first, or anything that you see on the shelves that you think I should read, I'd love to have your comments. Please let me know which book you're most excited to read in March in the comments, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye guys!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.